Welcome everyone to the Big 5-0. This is episode 50 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and we've got another one of my games today in the Kyber Cup.
Yeah, you're round 4, I believe.
Round 4, so first time with new lists for me.
Yes. And I believe winning this one nets you an automatic cup place, regardless of your
Apparently that is automatically in the cut if you get 4 wins. So I'm on 3 so far, so let's see how this goes.
I mean, as I'm 0-3 so far, it's unlikely I'm gonna.
I reckon you've got a chance.
But yeah, right. Crack on, Sam. Fill us in.
So, like I said, my list, this is the new list, and when I'm going to tell you my list, not much has changed. I have General Grievous with Outmaneuver, Impervium Plating, and Soulless One. I had to drop the shield upgrade because points. Then I've got Pre-Vizsla with Trickshot, Zam, and Veteran Tail Gunner instead of Coronets, because that went up loadout points. And then I have 4 Vultures. But they have names now. So we've got 2 Howar Chow prototypes with energy shells and 2 separatist drones with Discord missiles. So basically, my list just kind of got better.
Yeah, because you've now got munitions on your droids, and 2 have jumped from I1 to I3, and then 2 have stayed at I1, but gained a
relevant ability.
Yeah.
I lost the Coronets on Pre-Vizsla, and let's be realistic, I wasn't using them very well, so maybe that's just for the better.
Yeah, probably.
Grievous lost out. He lost his shield upgrade.
I mean, I honestly think that Grievous is fine without it for its point value. The fact that you're getting Soulless One and Impervium Plating for 0.
Yeah.
I think Grievous with, because you can still take a choice, can't you, between Afterburners, Outmaneuver, Shield Upgrade. You just can't take multiple. So
so if you take Outmaneuver, that's it. If you take Shield Upgrade or Afterburners, you have a little bit of leeway in talent. But I went for Outmaneuver because in this list, Grievous needs to kill things, and Shield Upgrade lets him live but doesn't help him kill things.
Yeah.
Now you could argue that Afterburners does help him kill things, but that's something else.
I mean, let's be honest. He's got a focus into a boost anyway, hasn't he? Was it a boost into a focus? I can't remember which way.
Boost into focus.
But either way, my point being that you've got that boost with a mod if you need it. So
yeah,
I definitely think Outmaneuver is probably the way to go.
And onto my opponent's list. So I don't know what he was flying before the list change, but I'm against Republic again. And we have Hound with Ayla Secura and 7 Fleet Gunner.
Nice.
Ahsoka with CLT, Brilliant Evasion, and R3 Astromech. Mace with CLT, Brilliant Evasion, Shattering Shot, and oh god, the Astromech that lets you get a calculate after you've done a red maneuver if there's someone in your bullseye. I do not know his name.
I want to say R4P44?
That sounds about right. But yeah, a nice little mace build. Then we've got Click with Besh, Marksmanship, R3 Astromech, and Ion Bombs. And Oddball in the V-Wing with Besh and Proton Torpedoes.
Now, interestingly, for just to circle back slightly, for people who might not know it, because it's not a card that you see that often, Ayla Secura crew card gives you a focus linked into a purple coordinate.
And of course, it gives you a force.
It gives you a force, and then there's some text there that you don't really need to
know. There is some text there that doesn't really mean anything.
Something about being in a bullseye and changing a...
I'll give you a spoiler. It doesn't come up. Or at least if it does, if it may trigger, but like my opponent didn't use it. And I don't think he ever used the force.
I've looked at, using her, and it's never been for the ability. Yeah, her ability is her pilot ability. While an enemy ship in your bullseye performs an attack, if the defender is friendly and at range 0 to 2, the defender may change one blank result to a focus result.
That's a perfectly fine ability.
It is, but let's be fair, dodging a lat bullseye is not difficult. You bring it for the force point and the focus into a coordinate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So on to setup. So I won first player, and we are playing Salvage Mission. which means we've got to pick up the boxes and carry them around. New rules say you can do advanced maneuvers whilst holding boxes, but you cannot boost or barrel roll. Or slam or cloak. But boost and barrel roll is what matters in this game.
Or gain a cloak token.
Or
I
gain a
believe,
cloak
as well.
token. So
here's my
Phantoms
question.
sucks to be you.
Well, here's my question. You can't perform the cloak action. You cannot gain a cloak token. Can you pick one up while you're already cloaked?
I believe so, and I think in the rules it says you immediately lose it. I think.
Oh, okay, fair.
I think something along those lines.
Cool.
But anywho, I get first play, and so I place the first box as far down towards my border as possible in the dead center, ready to pick it up. And my opponent. What?
Sorry, I was just going to say that I've noticed you do that quite often with your first objective, regardless of scenario. As opposed to the much more common 2-2 in the corner, or as close to 2-2 as you can get in the corner. You tend to center it. Is there a particular tactic behind that, I suppose?
When I center it down here, like in Salvage Mission and Assault at the Satellite Array, like Scramble Transmissions, I haven't really worked out what I'm doing with that one yet because you're down to 3 things.
Well, you can't do that anyway, can you? Because
but in Scramble Transmissions, I now default to doing the exact same thing, just on the opposite side.
Fair enough.
I haven't really worked out my plan with that one yet. But the reason I do it, especially in this list, is because it doesn't commit to wanting to play on either side of the board, and it lets my opponent basically pick what side they want to have lots of things on, and I can set up my second objective as far away as possible, like in one of the side corners.
Yeah.
And because I've got vulture droids, chances are I'm going to be able to place a rock within range 1 to go and sit on it.
Yeah.
And easily at that. So yeah, I place it as close to me as possible because I just want to have a vulture droid sit on a rock next to the objective and then pick it. Well, in this case, pick it up as soon as he can. But generally, just start scoring points. And for me, this is the easiest way to do that. Then my opponent places his roughly 2 and 2, a little bit more than 2 and 2, in his left hand side, so the top right corner, as you're seeing on the screen. And then I place my one as far to the left as possible, as way out of the way, and as far down towards me as possible. And the idea then is I'm either saying you can place your objective in between on my left, in which case it's in between my 2 points and fine, or you can place it on the right. And basically, I give my opponent the choice of where they want the battle to start, because then that will let me be like, okay, I'm sending dudes off to grab objectives on different parts of the battlefield, because I'm usually fine with a bit of the diamond with a point sticking out. Essentially, is how it usually ends up with, because your opponent will have one in his area. There'll be the center one. There'll be my one dead center and as far back towards me, and then there'll be one objective that's in my half of the board, as close to the opponent as possible, because he won't want me to be able to easily score.
Yeah.
So they get this weird distended diamond, and the Vizslas great at that. Vultures are great at that because they can just get there and sit there.
Yeah.
And I call it baited. Like, it makes the opponent want to go and fight over the more objective heavy part of the board, which means I can happily send a vulture droid off, grab the other objective, and just sit there scoring the rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But so yeah, that's where the objectives end up. We've got basically on the right hand side of the board, there's like a very elongated trapezium, like a diamond, and then there's one objective on the very far left, all on its own. So then I pick up the biggest rock I can, and I place it. And I think I actually make a mistake. This I think is actually a mistake. Oh, no, sorry, I don't. I grab the finger rock, normally the one I place last, point at the enemy, and I set it up so it is basically as close to as close to my border as possible in the center, so that I can get a droid, park it on the rock, and grab the salvage box and turn 2. And the way I've set up this obstacle is that if I do I think I set it up so if I do a 2 straight, I land on the rock, so that the rock is always obstructing something from the front. So I then have the tankiest vulture you'll ever really
Yeah.
realistically get. Then my opponent picks up one of my rocks and places it on the left hand side in the middle of nowhere. I pick up the biggest rock and place it on the right hand side, again, just below one of the objectives, so a vulture can rock up, land on the rock, and grab a salvage box. And then we basically take turns scattering gas clouds on the right hand side. I place one on the opposite side of the center objective, just trying to make it a little more awkward for him to come pick it up. And my opponent places two more gas clouds, one on the other side of the of my big rock on the right hand side, and another one towards the center, just trying to clog up the board for my big ship that kind of wants to have space. And there we have it. The board is set. So I will fast forward through to deployment. As I basically do what I normally do, I place one vulture who's positioned to take one objective, one vulture who's positioned to take another objective. In this case, it's the Howard Charles, the I-1s that I'm placing. I'm lining them up to land on rocks, and the two separatist drones I split up a little bit further. Hound, the I-2, which is actually weird to me to have. It's weird to me to have another ship go in between my vultures deploying. And he sets up on on the top right, as I'm looking at, so my opponent's left, basically lining up to go down into the melee where all these objectives, the most of the objectives are. So then I place Vizsla just to the left of my center, so I can move forward into the center of the board and then try and line my way up through the gas clouds. I place one separatist drone on the far right, and one separatist drone on the far left. The idea behind that is they have Discord missiles, so I'm kind of fine with them getting, like, basically trading and dying. And what I want them to do is I want them to either one of them will grab one of the objectives, either the far left one that I placed or my opponent's home one. That is their aim. They are just going to try and get as fast as they can and grab an objective. I placed Grievous on the far left, flanking with my Vulture, just to try and dissuade any of the Jedi from coming my way. And then my opponent sets up interestingly. So he has Ahsoka directly opposite Vizsla, essentially. And then Click and Mace sort of lining up to fly in after her, almost.
Yeah.
They're basically facing sideways and opposite. They're lining up to come in after Ahsoka, and Oddball deploys right next to Hound. And in my head, I immediately write off my separatist drone that I put on that side because I just figure he's not going to be able to take on Oddball. I'm going to be realistic here. He's not going to be able to take a proton torpedo.
I was going to say, where you
beaming.
set up there, I think you go fast as you can with the Latin oddball, and then if oddball needs to boost into a lock,
yeah, then he's got it.
He's got it.
But that is set up, and we go to the dials, and I will fast forward through this. So basically, my plan here is set up to grab as many objectives as I can turn 2. Because I can no longer grab them turn 1, I'm kind of fine just moving a little bit more carefully. I say that Grievous and the far left drone, I'm pretty sure, do 5 straights. But my opponent wins priority, which means my I-1s go first. But that is very important for Grievous, as there's quite a lot of I-4s on the enemy team.
Yeah.
And Grievous wants to fly after them if possible. So, like I said at the start of the game, my I-1s, they move onto their various rocks and they calculate, flip their struts, and they're going to grab objectives next turn. Hound does a 1 straight and focuses. And then Ahsoka does basically banks towards the right of the board. Spends a force to do a barrel roll, then boosts. Vizsla does a 3 straight and focuses. I do a 2 bank with my right hand separatist drone because I can then 2 bank the next turn into the fight, and I take a calculate. I believe 4 straight with the green separatist drone and calculate, and then Grievous. I'm pretty sure we'll do a 5 straight. Mace does a 1 hard and boosts after Ahsoka. Click does a 1 hard and takes target locks on Mace and Ahsoka. Yeah, Grievous does. Is it a 4 straight boost? Maybe I can't remember. Either way, he boosts. He's ready to come in flanking. Oddball does a straight and takes a focus. We check the range, and no one has anything. But it is quite close. Ahsoka is almost in range of one of my droids.
So you'll be shooting next turn.
Absolutely, they'll be shooting next turn. And they'll be scoring next turn.
See, I'm actually thinking a 2 bank from your blue droid here. If Oddball comes in too aggressive, you're going to have a nice Discord missile
Yeah.
onto him.
Absolutely.
And a Discord on a V-Wing is quite a difficult decision for your opponent, because obviously he can shoot the range 0 into the Discord, but 2 unmodified dice,
Yeah.
not always that great.
Yeah, so I win priority. I assign the Zab card. It's the target log one. Everyone knows it. And my Howard Child prototypes, they stop on their rocks and they pick up salvage boxes. My Hound does another 1 straight and focuses. Interestingly enough, I was expecting him to pick up that box, but he chooses not to.
I was just about to say that, and I believe focus into a coordinate.
Yeah, he did focus, coordinate, and put a focus onto Oddball. So there's a double modded proton torpedo coming my way at some point.
Yeah, it's interesting whether that he's chosen not to do that, which makes me think he's going for the kill.
Yeah. So he doesn't pick up boxes until really late.
Fair.
Admittedly, I've taken 3 of them already, but he has that box he could have picked up and chooses not to. So he's going for the double modded proton torpedo into one of my drones. So my I3s go. The guy on the right, he does a 2 bank and calculates, hoping that Oddball comes a little too close. And my one on the left does a fast maneuver and grabs the salvage box. Vizsla does a 1 bank into the center of the board and grabs the center box. Because I'm not super worried about him having mods, because if anyone shoots at him, he'll get target lock.
Yeah, and most of those are shooting first, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Ahsoka does a 2 straight. And so I don't expect this. Focus into. So basically spends a force to use her ability, then spends a force to fine tune controls and boosts. So she focuses, boosts, and then takes target lock onto the Howard Child prototype on the rock.
Interesting. And she's getting an obstructed shot from Vizsla, but
Yes.
you've got trick shot. I suppose your ability won't work on her though, because it's got to be
Yes,
higher.
it will.
Oh,
Equal to or higher.
Okay,
Equal
sorry.
to or higher. The
Okay.
only person that doesn't work on in this game is Hound.
So that looks range 1 to me.
It is range 1.
So
at the end, during the engagement, I will throw 6 dice at Ahsoka Tano this turn.
I was about to say, yeah.
Grievous does, I believe, a 3 bank boosts and then focuses, which is basically trying to flank where I thought Mace and Click were going to go.
Yeah.
But Click is banked the other way, and he's facing off against my green separatist drone who's holding a box. He boosts into a target lock, and he clears the lock from Mace to get the lock onto the separatist drone. Mace basically does a 3 bank barrel roll boost, getting away from Grievous, and Oddball does a 2 straight and target locks my drone. I decide that I'm going to die anyway, because I didn't see myself surviving a double modded proton torpedo from Oddball, so I threw out the buzz droids just in the vague hope that my opponent will run into them.
Short to me, but
I didn't think it was going to hit, but I was like, honestly,
if you're gonna die,
he's dead.
Yeah. But I also think it's probably close enough that you're gonna not be able to dodge it next turn.
Yeah. So
you throw it out at Mace anyway. Fair enough.
I throw it out at Mace, trying to dissuade Mace from it, because I feel like a 1 hard there should basically a 1 hard towards Vizsla is his only option.
Yeah, I kind of thought you might throw it to Oddball, because Oddball can't turn towards the board edge.
True, actually, I didn't think of it that way. I just was like, I want to make sure Mace doesn't come this way. I want him to.
Oh no, I get that as well. And yeah, if you're forcing Mace to fly towards your big ass heavy gauntlet, that's probably a good thing as well.
So Oddball fires a proton torpedo at a vulture droid. He rolls 2 hits and a crit.
So he's spent
by convergence.
Nice.
For a focus, then he has 2 hits, 2 crits. I roll a blank evade, and BAM! Separatist drone is dead. The crits don't really matter. Like, my opponent has 2 points. Grievous has a range 3 shot into Ahsoka Tano, outmaneuver. And I get, after the
Nice.
rerolls, hit crit, and my opponent rolls blank focus.
I mean, you've got to spend the focus.
Yeah, spends the focus and takes hit crit. I can't remember what the crit was exactly. I think it was like stunned pilot or something. Click rolls into my separatist drone, gets blank hit focus, spends the lock for blank focus. Gotta love it. And then I roll a single evade, so I dodge the click shot. Then we have Mace shooting the. I can't remember who he shoots. I think
So
he might shoot the buzz droids.
I was going to say he's just pinged the buzz droids, and I'm not entirely sure that's the wrong shot. Did he?
Okay, he's shattering shots into the vulture. There we go.
Yeah.
So he makes me drop the box because he got a crit through.
He did ping the.
I think I ping. I think that might have been me pinging it, saying this is a legal target.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so he does get the crit through on the
Interestingly,
Howard Charl and makes me drop the box.
The way he was placing that, he was getting it as far away as he could within range 1, but not because he was using it, keeping it within the range 1 band. Surely you can nip out of that so long as one part's still inside, right?
I mean, I would still be able to pick it up, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
I think he was setting up so that when as he sweeps my flank, he can just turn in and grab boxes.
Yeah,
is what he was saying. Like, so like when Ahsoka can just turn in, grab a box, is probably behind Vizsla and just has a vulture droid to face. But that's fine. Anyway, I have a range 1 obstructed shot into Ahsoka Tano. Tano. So I roll 6 dice.
Does he?
He checks for Click's ability. But
No.
Ahsoka is out of range.
Out of range, yeah.
So yeah, I roll 6 dice at Ahsoka. I don't have any mods, so this is literally just 6 dice of doom.
But nor does she, right?
Yeah, nor does she. She has nothing. So
And
I
she's
get
got
hit, crit,
2
crit.
pole left. So he really needs natties.
Yeah, and he gets 1. So he takes crit, and Ahsoka is dead. My vulture droid rolls a damage into Click. Then Ahsoka, because this is I3, so she still gets to shoot on her way out. Rolls a single hit into my vulture droid, and my yellow vulture droid takes another damage. But
so one
I'm
left
okay
on
with
yellow.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, you've traded 2 for 4?
Yeah. And I have 3 boxes.
And you have 3 boxes. So that's a.
I'm up to 7, and he's still on 2. So yeah. So that, as far as I was concerned, great. I love it. Hound killed the buzz droids.
Cool. I mean, yeah, that's
He had no other shot, so.
that's no biggie, is it? You know, if your buzz droids die, that your buzz droids die. It's
like I said, like I was in this situation where there's no way the vulture droid isn't likely to live in the slightest. So let's just launch them and make my opponent deal with them.
And you were right.
So I almost go to the next round, and then I realize, oh wait, my initiative 1s do actually get to shoot. And I think I can't remember who I go into. I think I go into Mace just because he has no mods. Rolling 4 dice. That must have been oddball for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't trust dice. I was just like, you know what? Let's try and plink something off oddball. Either way, it's probably a mistake. But I get 2 hits and oddball evades. So now, interestingly though, Grievous is in a really nice flanking position for the entire Republic list.
Yeah, very much so. Surely you do a fast straight here.
Yeah, I believe 3 straight. I think 3 straight focus is literally all I do here. Because...
3 straight, your fastest blue.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure you jump the other side of that gas cloud.
Still no ZAM charges being acquired, which is a little sad, but can't be helped. Either way, Vizsla's not getting shot. I'll trade drones for Vizsla getting free shots. And I win priority again. I assign a ZAM card. Click drops an ion bomb.
Interesting. Maybe hoping it caught.
I think he's hoping it either catches the vulture droid or if I turn Grievous in after Click.
Yeah.
Either way, my vulture droids on rocks stay on the rocks and calculate. Hawk bumps into Mace and takes a damage. Sorry,
Interesting.
Hound bumps into Mace.
I thought you may have picked up the crate.
So the reason I didn't pick up the crate was because I only had 1 health, and I was like, I want to try and eke out health if possible, and there was no one on my opponent's team who could come and pick it up.
Yeah. Fair. I thought you might use it to try and entice them to kill that droid while you can shoot them with.
Well,
your...
I thought that Oddball would do that anyway, and so I was like, what is the max? Like the way I live is probably just living at this point because
Yeah.
my vulture droid. See, so here's the math. My vulture droid currently cannot score me more than he's worth realistically. So he needs to live as long as possible and just get shots.
Fair.
At least that was my thinking. I was like, okay, if I still had the box, then hell yeah, this is great. But because I lost the box and wasn't able to score, I just need to live as long as possible and see where we end up. Either way, Vizsla, I believe, does a 1-2 straight, and then I think I focus.
Yeah, 2 straight. I don't believe the gauntlet has a 1.
Yeah, 2 straight focus. My Separatist drone does like a 3 straight and calculates. He's just playing the I have a box and I'm going to live game, and just try to avoid Click because I didn't think Click was. If Click came chasing after the Vulture droid, then fine. Grievous does a 3 straight, clears the stress, boosts, and then focuses. So I wasn't originally planning on boosting, but then Hawk bumped right there. I keep saying Hawk. Hound bumped right there.
Yeah, the boost gives you the range 1.
Yeah. So Click does a 2-turn coming down towards Vizsla and my droid. He's a little wary of the fact that Vizsla has a veteran tail gunner. So he barrel rolls trying to dodge the arc and just says, I'll take the bomb. A 1 straight isn't that bad for me next turn.
Oh, 1 bank if he wants to.
Yeah, or 1 bank. So Mace does a 1 hard, inexplicably doesn't bump.
Yeah, that's close.
And
Ooh, I don't know
basically so he spends a force to try the barrel roll when it just fails. And then he just does a focus anyway. Oddball does a 2 bank down towards my 1 health vulture. And I believe does something I was hella not expecting. Because he still has a proton torpedo, and he doesn't want to use it on a 1 health vulture.
Yeah. Oh, is he going to boost in front?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So so hindsight now tells me, boy, I wish I'd picked up that box. But if I had the box, I reckon Oddball just goes, no, you die.
Like, yeah, honestly, if that be me flying Republic, I would have taken the lock onto the droid. I probably wouldn't have fired the door. I might have even boosted into the lock to get range 1, but yeah, that's interesting. So he's going all in on. I suppose you're in the lats.
Yeah, I'm in the lats.
So he's going to get rerolls.
Mace has a pretty big shot because there's 7 Fleet Gunner as well.
So he's got CLT Mace, right? So
yeah, CLT Mace with 7 Fleet Gunner and Click is there.
Yeah, so you're getting the full
whammy.
The full whammy there.
So the ion bomb hits Click, deals an ion. Cool. Then Oddball shoots. Unsurprisingly, he shoots pre-Vizsla. I missed a trigger here, right here.
Oh, before he shoots.
As he shoots, because the Howard Charles have an ability.
You're in his bullseye, aren't you?
He is in my bullseye, and he is shooting someone else. I could have had a target lock on Oddball right now with a range 1 shot from the Vulture. I realized when I came to the Vulture shot, and I was like, wow, I really missed this one. But I missed it. Oddball throws 4 hits out of hand and changes 1 to a crit, making me a little sad, which means I am dropping the box again. I rolled 2 evades, so not that sad.
So she 2 shields.
So I drop. I lose the 2 shields. He drops the box. I think he drops it so. I think he dropped it just behind the gauntlet because that way the gauntlet can't pick it up. I reveal Zam. I get a charge. I acquire a lock onto Oddball. Blah blah blah. But like secretly, Vizsla is waiting for Mace to shoot me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, then you take the lock onto Mace and range 1 him.
So Grievous, range 1, outmaneuver into Hound. I get 4 hits. Just clonk,
Straight
clonk, clonk,
through.
clonk, clonk. Then click. I believe this is range 2 into Vizsla. Gets 2 hits. I get 1 evade, so another damage. And then the mace shot. So range 1, CLT, 7 fleet gunner. Oh, baby. Gets 3 hits and
Oh,
spends his
nice.
target lock into 2 more crits.
Nice.
Sorry, not target lock. You know what I mean. Fire conversions.
Fire convergence.
And I roll 2 evades. So
You're
like
going to
both,
be pretty good on.
I feel
that
like
combo.
all our dice have been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
So I take hit, crit, crit. I believe one of those is a damaged engine, and one of them I can't remember what the other one is.
Looks like a structural damage from the text, but just the amount of text underneath. But who knows?
Oh no, sorry. One was a panic pilot, and one is something that I don't think comes up.
Fair enough.
Anywho, I acquire a lock onto Mace Windu, and I roll I roll 4 dice at him because why not? Spend the lock. I spend the lock on 2 blanks into 2 blanks, and then I spend my focus for 2 hits in total, and he rolls 2 evades. So Mace is not dying today. Then my I3 drone has nothing. Hound. I basically am explaining that I can acquire a lock onto Hound if he shoots Vizsla, but that's about it.
I think you still go into.
Yeah, he still goes into Hound. He rolls 2 hits. I roll 2 evades.
Like at that point, the gauntlet's hurt.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. So it is structural damage because I realized at the last second, take it away, roll 1, and get a blank. There we go. And it's a hull breach. It's hull breach and structural damage.
That's not a good combo.
So, in fact,
Is that
what I
the
just
panic
said about it not coming up, it absolutely did matter. So there's my panic pilot, and I'm like, okay, Vizsla's gonna get like a shot next turn, pretty much. Then I have vultures shooting various things. I think this is range 3 into
Hound?
Hound. I think it's because I have the calculate. Yeah, I have the calculate, and I fire a shell at a Hound.
Yeah.
So hit, crit, a focus. He rolls 1 evade, takes a crit, and I think that's about it. Yeah, yellow fires his energy shell into Hound because, like, I mean, Hound's defense is down, right? Let's start pushing this damage through.
Yeah. Lock would have been real nice though.
I mean, that's the thing is, I could have had a lock on
Yeah.
Hound, which is making me very sad.
So the high likelihood is Vizsla dies.
Yeah.
What's he got?
I can't
He's
remember
got-
exactly how much health he's got, but he's not doing too good.
So they're 9, aren't they? And it looks like you've got 5 there, so 4 left. But you've got a structural damage.
I'm pretty sure there's like 2 below
Oh,
the
fair.
screen here.
I'm saying
I'm pretty
you've
sure
got
I took a
structural
lot of
damage and a hull breach.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're going to get shot. You're going to get a shot because we presume you put the bonus attack.
Yeah. I put the bonus attack in.
Like, surely a stop here.
I panic pilot. I'm double stressed.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah.
Fast blue maybe, and just try and jump over people.
I believe I ended up doing just a 1 bank.
Fair enough.
Because I had there's a damaged engine on here as well. I'm double stressed, so halterns are out. Hound will go before me, and I was expecting him to stop.
That's fair.
So I didn't want to risk like bumping into Grievous and just arbitrarily hurting myself. So I was like, screw it. We take the bump into Mace. Chances are, if he's K-turning, I'll still shoot him.
See, I think I would have done the fastest straight I can, because even if you bump into Grievous, I think that the template would take you past Grievous, which means it's Hound that causes the bump.
Yeah,
So
I just didn't think I was going to fit.
Oh, no. But my point is, even if you come back behind Grievous, that still counts as bumping into Hound.
Yeah, true.
Which would have then left you a range 1 shot into him if you make it that far.
Yeah.
Or
well, I didn't think I would fit in between where Mace, Hound, and Grievous were.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's why I was like, if you put in the fastest, even if you don't move, as long as it's his shit causing the bump.
Yeah, that's why I did a 1 bank, because I was like, you know what? If I live the next round, then great. So Mace does a 4K over the top of Vizsla.
Nice.
Gets a calculate because I'm in his bullseye. We didn't. So we're pinging for charges by R4P44. We were like, why are there charges here? Because that droid does not have charges.
No, that's just a do, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't. I think he just gets a stress. Click does a 1 straight and takes a focus.
See, I would
Grievous
have.
does a 2 bank. I was trying to curve it, basically clear my stress and get in around where Hound might have been.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the stop does clip, but it's not the end of the world.
I think if I'd been click there, I would have gone for the bank.
Yeah.
Personally, now that you can with an ion, but
Yeah.
that's just me. I think that lines up better. But I suppose the straight does give him options for the droid if he needs it.
And then thanking my lucky stars, Oddball decides to go droid hunting instead of finishing off Vizsla and denying me a Zam shot.
Yeah.
So he does a 2 hard, clears his stress, and boosts and then target locks the undamaged droid, but the droid who is currently holding a box. In fact, no, both droids are holding a box, sorry. When my droid stopped, the guy who still has shells calculated, and the guy who just spent his shells picked up the box that Oddball was just trying to get.
Yeah.
The one that he dropped the previous round, because I was like, well, haven't got energy shells anymore. Who cares if I die?
Well, yeah.
Oddball's not doing anything. Vizsla's a juicier target, and if Hound kills me at range 3, then that's just what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I still think doing the going for Vizsla though would have been the
So he bashes for 3 hits. I roll evade focus, spend my calculate for 2 evade, and my red Howard Child takes 1 damage. Mace rolls 1,000,000 dice. And I'm just telling him. I'm telling him he needs 3 to kill me, so I must have 2 left. So I take a bunch of crits. I flip Zam. We roll as many dice as we can into Mace Windu,
Zam.
which is
the specific
4.
text on the card. Is it against the attacker or is it perform a bonus?
It is against
attack?
the. If you do the bonus attack after you get shot, it is against the attacker.
Okay. Cool.
And I couldn't have veteran tailgunned off a Zam anyway.
Well, no, because it's a bonus attack, isn't it? So.
Yeah. But yeah, no. There's this particular Zam trigger, the one where you can attack after you have defended, is specifically against the attacker.
Fair enough.
I think like nothing happens to Mace with the Vizsla shot, and Vizsla is dead. So 7 points to my opponent. We are 9-9.
9-9.
9-9. Click has a range 3 obstructed shot into a Vulture droid. He rolls we rolls 1 damage, and I take 1 damage. Grievous has a range 0 shot into Hound and does nothing. My I3 Vulture does nothing. I have a Howard Shell shot, range 3 into Hound. I get hit crit out of hand, and my opponent gets 2 evades. And then my last Howard Shell just plinks into Mace, hit crit out of hand. My opponent rolls 1 evade and spends the force to change 1 to an evade, and then gets the force back. So I'm on 12 because I'm holding 3 boxes, but this is close. Like, Vizsla's dead. Grievous is still fine, and Hound is hurting. But I'm on track to lose a lot more droids than my opponent is Jedi.
No, he needs to get 1 through on each of your droids, except green, obviously. But also, I mean, Grievous is fine, but he's not in a great spot for flanking.
No.
With the possible exception of obviously Hound, who you presume either turns or does a 1 straight. And I'm presuming turns because he doesn't want to sit in front of the gas cloud. Which means he's staying stressed.
Yeah, so this is an interesting game. This is very interesting. So I get first player, which doesn't really matter a whole lot. My Vulture droids calculate on their rocks. Hound does a turn into the board. My Separatist drone turns in behind Click and Mace because Sam has decided that this guy can't afford to just sit on the sidelines. He needs to start shooting his gun.
Get his Discord missile off, hopefully.
I don't actually do that at all. Like, people never get close, and I'm sort of okay with that because I'm like, he's scoring points.
But at least it's a threat behind now, not just a droid
Yeah.
floating in a corner.
Grievous does a 1 hard, and I do lots of umming and ahhing, and then I think I just focus in the end. I just don't see the boost happening.
No, I mean
So I just focus.
the lat's disarmed by the looks of it anyway, so you're not taking
Yeah.
that shot.
Yeah, that reset the 7th Fleet Gunner. Mace does a 2 bank, and I'm like, hey, 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 Grievous is there.
Nice. Just swing into my outmaneuver.
Yeah, pretty much. Boosts for a force, and then focuses. Click does a 2 straight, and takes some target locks, I believe is what he ends up doing. No, he focuses, okay. And then Oddball bumps into my drone because he thought that my Howard Child would make a move because there are people circling him, and I decided not to, so Oddball just bumps into the Howard Child. And I'm okay with this.
If it's me there, I don't think you take the red focus.
Yeah, I don't think he does. He's like, no one's shooting him. There's no point.
Yeah,
So
leave your
Oddball
dart
shoots
open.
into the Howard Child, rolls a crit, I roll all blanks, I take a crit and die.
Yeah, who needs focuses?
Who needs mods? And he sets the object up so that Oddball can basically 2 hard and just pick up the box again. Grievous has a, I think, I can't remember who I go for. I think I go for Mace here.
It looks like it. Range 2.
I can't remember exactly who I go for. Either that or I just go for finishing off Hound. It looks like I go for finishing off Hound. I
Interesting,
roll.
because obviously you don't get the rerolls because you're still in his
Yeah.
arc. Not that it's clearly mattered, but
Yeah, well, my thought was
focus is enough.
Mace has taken no damage. Even if I somehow God roll Mace, he'll get to shoot. But Hound is just points on the board that I can take.
Yeah, interesting. I was going to say deny 7th Fleet Gunner, but it won't actually, will it? Because Mace is the same initiative. So
That's true. My opponent should not have deleted Hound.
no, so he could still 7th Fleet Gunner this shot.
Yeah. But he does not. Rolls pretty poorly. Basically adds the shattering shot, spends focus for 2. I get 2 evades, so my droid inexplicably lives. Click, gets 2 hits. My droid inexplicably dies.
And I'm not sure that's inexplicably, but yeah.
So it's close. My opponent's on 13 now. I have a random droid shot. I roll I roll nothing. And then I gain a point. I'm up to 18, and my opponent's on 13. I have Grievous and a drone left. I have a drone holding a box. And, like, that's it.
And Grievous is kind of hemmed into going one way.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, this turn, I don't think your opponent's got a lot of choices for challenging for that. But I suppose he has almost got a free turn to disengage and, like, K turn click. I was about to say sloop Mace, but I'm not sure it doesn't clip the rock.
So here in the game is where I really wanted to get first player.
Oh, you're going to just go over the gas cloud, aren't you? And go for the block on.
No, what I wanted to do was pick up that block, the box that Vizsla got dropped in the center, because I figured Seppi drone is holding a box. If Grievous can get a box and then everyone lives, because the way his ships are positioned, they're all at weird angles. He's not going to get the greatest of shots. I would win.
Yeah. So
However,
I was thinking to myself there, like old school of how do you not clip that debris, that gas cloud, and then get in range? I thought, well, it doesn't matter, does it? So long as you don't end on it, you still get your action now. So
unless I get ionized as I go through it, that will be the
oh god, yeah, that's
brain
true.
breaker. Yeah, so my opponent gets priority. He drops his iron bomb, thinking that I might pursue him with the vulture droid, but I am piecing the heck out. I do a 1 hard because I don't want to come down towards Oddball, but I want to be away.
Yep, that's fair.
So Mace basically does I think he does a 1 hard and grabs a box. Click does a 2 bank, grabs that center box that Grievous kind of wanted. Then Grievous does a 1 hard, and I was like, ah! I mean, I wanted to not hit the gas cloud, and I was like, well, maybe. We're in range.
That's fair.
So what I do is I try to angle to get Oddball as he comes around, and I boost and focus. Also, in this way, I'm definitely not getting shot by anything Click and Mace-wise. They're ticking up points. And Oddball does a 3 hard around the rock and picks up the box. Ion Bomb goes off and does nothing. Oddball is out by a millimeter on shooting the Vulture Droid. And Grievous is out by more than a millimeter on shooting Oddball. So no shooting. My opponent gets 3 points, and I get 1. So as is, right now, I will win if nothing happens. And so I have choices to make.
So Oddball's going to shoot after that droid.
Yeah.
That's the only way he has of denying you the win.
Yeah.
Mace, I think, is buggered out this fight. Click can.
I mean, Mace could like 2 hard force boost and just like throw a gun at me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure it'll be angled enough to hit bullseye or anything, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not likely
Gun is
to
a
like.
gun.
It's not like but it's not likely to kill Grievous. Like, I just think you have to set about punishing Oddball as much as possible with
Yeah.
Grievous.
But for me, the choice in this game was which way does the Separatist drone go? Where do I think Oddball is going to go? Because
If it's me,
I was like,
I go left. I go down towards him.
no, so here, that's exactly what I did, and I was umming and ahhing about like, what if Oddball just 5 straights? What if Oddball 2 banks or something like that? And so I was like, well, I'm doing a 3 hard in some direction.
Yeah,
I did consider 1 hard and tight turning and just hoping that Grievous and the drone can kill Oddball. But I decided against that.
If it was me, 3 hard to the left.
Yeah. So I do a 3 hard to the left.
I'm guessing he calls it, and
oh yeah, absolutely calls it.
But that's one of those, isn't it? It's if you'd gone the other way.
Yeah. So when I talked to him at the end, he was like, "Well, for me, it was like it was a no brainer. If I bank towards the left, I have the option of if you turn towards the left, I can just get a shot on you, and if you turn towards the right, I can boost and still get a shot on you. Like me winning was always going to be a long shot, so I just took the option that allows me to at least get a shot because all he needs to do is sneak a crit through."
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we roll priority. It doesn't really matter. We tie, and I get it. So I do a 3 hard to the left and calculate. Grievous does a 2 straight and ums and ahs and barrel rolls and then focuses, just trying to line up as much of a shot. Click does a 1 hard. Then we collectively forget that you can't boost with salvage things, as Mace boosts around after me, despite having a box, and takes a target lock. Oddball does a 3 bank.
It's a boost, isn't it?
Does a 3 bank, boosts, and takes a target lock. So we collectively forget that you can't boost whilst holding boxes. So Oddball rolls hit blank focus, re-rolls into hit crit, and I'm sweating bullets. And I roll 2 evades. So I don't take the critical damage. I don't drop the box. I know I've won.
Yeah.
It's all about how many I roll. Now it's about how many points do I get. So Grievous has range 2 into Oddball. I roll focus crit, spend the focus for 2 hits and a crit. Oddball rolls focus evade, so takes hit crit.
Drops the box.
Drops the box. It's like, add insult to injury. Mace shoots. So again, at this point, most of the shots don't matter because, like, if we had remembered the rules, like Mace doesn't get to shoot Grievous, and actually my drone doesn't get to shoot Oddball.
Yeah, that's true.
But my drone rolls hit crit out of hand, and Oddball rolls 2 evades, takes a crit, and it is a direct hit.
So you've nabbed yourself a couple of extra points there.
Yeah. So I'm up to 23, 24 because I'm holding a box, and then my opponent's up to 18. And that is that. And then now we realise that, oh wait, we shouldn't have been boosting. And my opponent decides, basically says, like, rolling back like doesn't really gain me anything. So we'll just leave it as is.
Fair enough.
Because we both forgot.
Honestly, if that be me, I think I would have just offered to ignore the droid shot.
Yeah.
And given him the 4 points back, you still win, but
yeah.
That was a bit nail biting at the end. I was like,
it was tight, wasn't it?
Which way that was going? Like, Vizsla did pretty much his job. He traded.
Like Vizsla did exactly what he was supposed to do. He killed a ship. I think it was unfortunate that I took the. I guess the hull breach is what sealed his fate, because if Vizsla gets his red focus, when he bumps that last turn, like that four dice shot into Mace is a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Whereas, because what it was just an unmodded shot, right? And I was like, well, dice. Because like
Yeah.
the unmodded shot into Ahsoka, I didn't feel super bad about, because like, yeah, I'm rolling 6 dice, so averages will just help me.
But 4, you've always got that 2 blank
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, it's one of those where I didn't feel too bad about the 6 dice shot, because it was like, on average I should actually do quite well. Like 3 hits on average unmodded, I'll take it. That's a sizable chunk of a Delta 7's health,
Oh, for sure.
especially when Ahsoka's unmodded on defense.
Yeah. But no,
Oh boy,
so
I'm
4
4-0.
0. And what was it they said after round 2 on the Hexal pod? That you wouldn't do very well because of your vulture liabilities?
Well, they said that I believe it was a. Oh, I could see I could see a separatist player going X and 1 into the cut, and then they looked at my list and said, "Oh, he's got vultures, no chance." Here I am.
4
I'm
4 0.
I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off the bus at this point.
That'll be first round of the cut, won't it?
I almost certainly.
Hang on, does this mean there's 2 large tournaments in a row you've made cut now?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, do we count the tin one? Like, technically, it's 3.
No, that's not a large tournament. That's like 10
It's
people.
large for Southwest.
That's 10 people in the deepest, darkest depths of Cornwall. That
I'll
does
take that.
not count.
That's 2 numerals. That's double digits.
All right, fine. I'll rephrase that then. Is that 2 100 plus players
Yes.
tournaments in a row?
I don't know what's going wrong.
Oh, you've started bringing good lists instead of janky stuff.
Yeah, but by all accounts, the list I brought this time isn't a good list.
It clearly is, isn't it?
Actually, I have actually been thinking about why this is working and why I think it might stop working soon. Although, whilst I personally don't think I have a terrible matchup into the Rebel Alpha Strike that's going around, I have yet to prove it. But what I actually think is the reason I'm doing well is because I've met a bunch of Jedi, and at first I thought, oh my god, this is going to be a terrible matchup. But actually, Grievous is really good at killing all the low-pointed Jedi that people have been bringing.
Yeah,
And Vizsla is really good at killing squishy ships that are equal to or higher initiative than him.
yeah.
And I came to like the way I've been playing, it almost baits my opponent into being like lining up across from Vizsla and trying to take him out. Like most people have done this.
Yeah.
And especially with the Jedi, it's generally worked to my advantage. Now, my opponent this game, he actually didn't try to do that. I think I got a little lucky with Ahsoka going down as handily as she did, but she was in 3 arcs. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's fair to be honest. 3 arcs, no mods.
I mean, actually, it was Grievous outmaneuver shot, Vizsla 6 dice,
yeah,
and then a drone. So maybe I feel like the odds were in my favor a little bit. But yeah, like this list actually is quite good at just eating up the middle initiative squishy lists
yeah,
that were quite common earlier in Kyber. And so what I might find going forward is that when I meet lists with equal beef, but their like filler ships aren't as weak as vultures, is when I'm going to start faltering.
Well, that's only one way to find out.
We shall see. Up against First Order next, so if my theory holds true, I should do okay against it, because First Order is a bunch of squishy ships that are higher initiative than Vizsla.
What's your opponent brought?
Ember, Scorch in the TIFO, Commander Malorus in the TIFO, Kylo Ren in the Whisper, and Gideon Hask in the Z.
Yeah. Kill Malorus.
I mean, if I can. I'm a little concerned about Ren, I must admit.
I mean, it's Kylo, isn't it? But like, yeah, and Vizsla's not really got a way of getting
Well, the Whisper specifically is quite good against Vizsla because, like,
Well,
let's
that's what
say
I
I
mean.
reinforce in the face of the enemy, the
You
Whisper is just
jam it
like,
off.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
But like,
But
I also feel like I should reinforce because, at the very least, if Ren is jamming me, he's not having as many mods as he might have.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean, I have to work it out. I'll have to work it out in the game. But anyway, that is for later. I'm still waiting on my opponent to get back to me about how we can play.
And yeah, we might very well just bring you that game next
See how it goes.
week.
If you have a good game,
Sorry.
we see how it goes. Like, if you have a really
Yeah.
good game,
Well, it's not
we'll
so
have
much
you watch
that. It's if we keep doing both of our Kybers, we're going to be about 6 weeks behind the Kyber,
True.
and then I'll if I have a good game, certainly we'll look at it. But you're the one clearly doing the impressive run this tournament, so it will be good to keep
Yeah,
tabs on
I'm
it.
literally just waiting for the wheels to fall off.
Well, that'll be at least 2 weeks because you've got this week's match and then cut next.
Yeah, I think the wheels will fall off actually when Chance Encounter rolls back around because that was my toughest matchup that I was like, I don't know if I can win this. Like the rest of the ones, I was like, I can win. Were like games, yes, I can win this. And in Chance Encounter, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to win this.
Yeah.
It turns out vultures do bleed points.
Well, especially when you've not got other objectives for them to sort of circle around picking up points for sure.
But again, I've now got energy shells and discord missiles on them, so maybe they'll be able to buy their points back.
That's true. You can't just joust them and expect to get away scot free. So yeah, be interesting.
So it'd be interesting. But I think that's about it.
See what it is. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening once again. I don't think we cheated in that game. Well, your opponent.
Well, so here's the thing: we didn't talk about mystical maneuvers that ships can't actually do, but we did identify that both me and my opponent completely forgot about the new salvage rules.
You didn't boost or barrel.
No, I didn't. Well, because Grievous didn't get a box in the end, and I never did barrel rolls or boosts.
But yeah, we have stopped deciding that vultures can boost when they like, and other ships that magically want to boost can boost. Apologies for that. Eventually, I will read my cards and work out what my ships can actually do. Should probably just practice a list for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note of self-slapping, we will call it there for this week. So thanks once again. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, ta-ta.
Bye.